Embark on a vital voyage with today's video. Top 10 fishes you should never eat if you have heart disease, where we navigate through the murky waters of seafood selection. With heart disease claiming more than 17.9 million lives each year, it's crucial to discern which choices could sink your heart health beneath the waves of wellness. As we chart the depths, you'll learn that not all fish swim equal. Some species, lauded for their taste, secretly stash toxins in their flesh, toxins that can fast-track to your plate. We'll disclose which 10 fish are the culprits, armed with mercury at astonishing levels, potentially 1 million times that of their aquatic habitats. This is a silent alarm for those steering their diet toward heart health. Before we move forward, please subscribe to our channel, click like to support us, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our new heart health videos. Plus, stay tuned until the end for an exciting surprise. We're giving away 2 incredible gifts that you won't want to miss. Don't worry, our journey includes good news too. We'll explore how eating the right fish, rich in omega-3s, lean protein, and essential nutrients, can help your heart. In fact, eating these fish twice a week can reduce heart disease risk by 36%, as advised by the American Heart Association. Let's begin. At number 10. Marlin. The marlin, a titan among fish, is a spectacle of the sea world, often reaching lengths of up to 14 feet and weighing over 1,500 pounds. Their incredible size and powerful physiques make them one of the ocean's most awe-inspiring creatures. Indeed, marlins are capable of swimming at speeds exceeding 50 miles per hour, making them one of the fastest fish in the ocean. Yet, behind this majestic facade lies a hidden heart health hazard: mercury. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, the guideline level for methylmercury in fish tissue is 0.3 parts per million, or ppm. Research has indicated that some species of marlin can have mercury concentrations as high as 3.0 ppm, which is indeed up to 10 times the EPA's recommended level of 0.3 ppm for safe consumption. This high level of mercury puts consumers, especially those at risk for heart disease, at an increased risk of mercury-related health problems. Mercury exposure is closely linked to increased heart disease risk, with a New England Journal of Medicine study showing a 60% higher risk of coronary heart disease in men with elevated mercury levels. Additionally, the FDA warns of mercury's risk to fetal development, with a Journal of Pediatrics study finding that prenatal mercury exposure can reduce a child's IQ by up to 1.5 points, a minor figure that translates to significant developmental shifts on a broader scale. For those seeking a heart-healthy diet, the right seafood choices are key. Opting for fish low in mercury yet rich in omega-3s can bolster heart health without the risks. Stay with us to discover which seafood selections offer these vital benefits safely, ensuring your path to wellness is both delicious and prudent. Keep watching for our top picks. At number 9, the orange Ruffy is an astonishing testament to oceanic endurance, living for up to 150 years. These deep-sea denizens mature slowly, often not until they reach 30 years of age, which means that a single orange Ruffy on your dinner plate could have been swimming in the oceans since the late 19th century. Their remarkable longevity, however, has a darker side: a prolonged exposure to ocean contaminants. Studies indicate that these fish accumulate significant levels of heavy metals, with mercury levels in some specimens measuring at alarming rates of 0.4 parts per million, surpassing the EPA's recommended limit of 0.3 ppm. Alongside mercury, they also accumulate other dangerous elements, such as arsenic and lead, contributing to the big 4 heavy metals known for toxicity. The bioaccumulation of these toxins in fatty tissues leads to increased risks of systemic inflammation, neurological issues, and cardiovascular diseases. Gender differences in contamination have emerged in research, with males showing higher toxin levels, possibly a result of females shedding some of their burden through their eggs. This species' plight is compounded by overfishing, with their numbers dwindling at an alarming rate, threatening not only the species itself, but also the stability of marine ecosystems they inhabit. At the 8th spot, we have the tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico, a species with a lifespan that can extend to 35 years or more. This longevity, coupled with their position at the top of their food chain, means that tilefish can accumulate mercury levels that are of significant concern. Recent studies have shown that tilefish from this region can have mercury concentrations that range from 0.144 to 3.220 ppm, with an average of 1.45 ppm, which is well above the EPA's safety threshold. The implications of such contamination are vast, extending from increased risks of heart disease, a condition already affecting about 92.1 million American adults, to disruptions in the endocrine and immune systems. Historical tragedies, such as mercury poisoning in Minamata, Japan, have shed light on the devastating impact of mercury on human heart health. Interestingly, while the Mediterranean is home to some of the world's highest mercury concentrations in marine life, its residents, particularly in areas like Sardinia, one of the 5 global blue zones, exhibit remarkably low disease rates and high longevity. This paradox is attributed to dietary habits favoring smaller fish with shorter lifespans, which typically have lower mercury levels. The tilefish's story is a cautionary tale that underscores the importance of informed seafood choices to safeguard our heart health and the health of our oceans. Ranked at number 7. Sharks, apex predators of the ocean, are increasingly becoming a concern for consumers due to their high levels of mercury. Research has demonstrated that mercury levels in sharks can reach up to 1.45 ppm, which is well above the EPA's recommended maximum of 0.3 ppm for fish consumption. The longevity of sharks, with some species like the Greenland shark living potentially up to 400 years, allows for significant bioaccumulation of mercury and other toxins. In a study examining mercury accumulation in the tissues of the short-fin mako shark, scientists have found a direct correlation between the size of the shark and mercury levels, indicating that larger, older sharks are particularly high in contaminants. Beyond heart health risks, the consumption of shark meat also poses environmental concerns, as many species are threatened or near threatened due to overfishing and shark finning practices. This has led to calls for more sustainable fishing practices and increased awareness among consumers of the ecological impact of shark consumption. Swordfish, another predatory fish, take the 6th position on this list, is well known for accumulating high mercury levels, with studies showing average concentrations of 0.995 ppm and extreme cases reaching up to 3.22 ppm. These levels are alarming when compared to the 0.1 ppm level at which negative heart health effects can be observed. As migratory species, swordfish can cover vast distances, which exposes them to various marine environments and sources of contamination. Their diet primarily consists of smaller fish, which compounds the accumulation of toxins through a process known as biomagnification. The health implications for humans, especially for developmental and neurological systems, make swordfish a risky choice for regular consumption. The International Seafood Sustainability Foundation has been monitoring swordfish stocks globally, advocating for better management to ensure the sustainability of swordfish populations, which are currently facing overfishing challenges in certain areas. At the 5th place, king mackerel, often lauded for its robust flavor and meaty texture, raises significant heart health concerns due to its mercury content, which can overshadow its nutritional benefits. This species, which can grow over 5 feet long and weigh up to 100 pounds, is notorious for its mercury concentration, with studies indicating levels that can exceed 0.7 parts per million or ppm. King mackerel's predatory nature means it feeds on smaller fish, resulting in biomagnification of toxins such as mercury and polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs, within its tissues. Notably, mercury exposure from consuming king mackerel is linked to a spectrum of potential health issues, from subtle neurological impairments to more conspicuous effects on kidney function and cardiovascular health. Pregnant women, nursing mothers, and young children are particularly advised to avoid king mackerel due to the risk of developmental delays and cognitive deficits associated with mercury. Basa fish take the 4th spot in our list, a Vietnamese catfish that has raised global heart health and safety concerns. A study by the World Wildlife Fund identified the Mekong River, where basa is predominantly farmed, as one of the most contaminated rivers due to heavy industrial and agricultural runoff. The European Food Safety Authority detected that up to 90% of basa fish samples contained elevated levels of contaminants such as isomers of polychlorinated biphenyl or PCBs, exceeding safe consumption levels. Moreover, a report by the Environmental Justice Foundation underscored the widespread use of banned chemicals and antibiotics in Vietnamese aquaculture, with 50% of basa farms using substances that pose significant heart health risks, underscoring the need for consumers to verify the source and certification of their basa purchases. At number 3, tilapia. Tilapia's popularity in the American diet is overshadowed by its dietary composition concerns. A pivotal report by the USDA pointed out that the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in tilapia is highly skewed, with levels of omega-6 being up to 10 times higher than omega-3. This imbalance, according to a study in the Journal of Nutrition, can lead to pro-inflammatory responses if consumed excessively. The FDA's import refusal reports show that over the past 5 years, approximately 35% of tilapia shipments were rejected due to the presence of hazardous substances, including malachite green and tetracycline, both of which can have carcinogenic and antibiotic resistance implications. Consumers are recommended to look for tilapia that meets the best aquaculture practices certifications to ensure better quality and safety. Consumers can identify BAP-certified products through distinctive labeling on packaging. This certification is a pivotal tool for consumers aiming to make informed choices, ensuring that tilapia on their tables is not only safer but also of superior quality. Farmed shrimp takes second spot for most concerning seafood for individuals with heart disease, presenting alarming statistics regarding its cultivation and consumption. Intensified aquaculture methods have been adopted globally to meet the surging shrimp demand, often at the expense of health standards. A comprehensive Science Advances study highlighted that 55% of shrimp farms across Southeast Asia resort to antibiotic use, leading to a worrying 84% of the shrimp carrying antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The complexity of the issue is exacerbated by the findings of Oceana, which conducted a thorough investigation into shrimp mislabeling, discovering that as much as 30% of shrimp products were incorrectly labeled, thus thwarting well-intentioned consumer attempts at ethical purchasing. The FDA's stringent controls lead to the rejection of 20% of shrimp imports due to contamination. To navigate this, consumers can look for the MSC or ASC labels on shrimp products, which guarantee adherence to rigorous sustainable farming and safety standards. These certifications, identifiable by their distinct blue and green labels and accompanying certification codes, signal that the shrimp have met high-quality benchmarks essential for heart health. Before we reach our list's peak, let's spotlight the ocean's heart health heroes. Atlantic mackerel shines with 2.5 grams of omega-3s per serving, combating inflammation and heart disease, a sharp contrast to the mercury-rich king mackerel. Wild caught salmon follows, with a single serving delivering heart-friendly omega-3s, vitamin B12 and D. Sardines, too, pack a punch with over 1.5 grams of omega-3s, plus vital calcium and vitamin E, and minimal mercury. These fish, unlike their high mercury counterparts, support a heart-healthy diet and fulfill the American Heart Association's recommendations for cardiovascular well-being. Securing the unfortunate distinction at the summit of our list, the greatest threat to heart health isn't a single type of fish, but any fish that's been cloaked in deep-fried batter. The healthiest, most nutrient-rich fish is betrayed by this cooking style, which drenches it in carbohydrates and submerges it in hot oils, often of poor quality and repeatedly reused in some eateries, creating a perfect storm for heart disease. Statistics from heart health surveillance reveal a troubling link. Regular consumption of deep-fried foods is associated with a 23% higher risk of heart failure. The villain in this nutritional narrative is the formation of advanced glycation end products, the harmful byproducts of proteins reacting with sugars at high temperatures. These agents are not mere bystanders. They actively contribute to increased oxidative stress and inflammatory responses, culminating in conditions like atherosclerosis, which affects 15 to 20% of middle-aged adults, and coronary artery disease, the leading cause of death globally. Furthermore, Studies suggest that the risk of a heart attack or stroke increases by 12% with each additional 114 grams of fried foods consumed per week. This stark fact underscores the danger of deep-fried battered fish, which, behind its deceptively delicious exterior, poses a significant threat to heart health. Therefore, it's imperative to avoid this treacherous culinary choice. Opting instead for healthier preparations like baking, steaming, or grilling can significantly diminish the risk of heart-related ailments and ensure that fish remains a supportive pillar in your diet, promoting cardiovascular vitality and longevity. Our voyage through the treacherous and the tranquil waters of seafood has been enlightening. We've navigated past the mercury-laden depths to discover heart-healthy treasures that can anchor our well-being. Remember, the villain isn't the fish itself, but the disguise it wears. Avoid the deep-fried facade to safeguard your heart. Embrace the nutritional bounty that the right choices from the sea can offer, like the omega-rich Atlantic mackerel, the robust wild salmon, and the humble yet mighty sardines. If you found this video enlightening, join our community by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell for more insightful voyages. Drop your comments and insights below. They guide our journey forward. Also, don't miss out on the treasures waiting for you in the description box below. 2 exclusive gifts to enhance your heart health. Thanks for sailing with us, and here's to navigating a healthier life together. Until next time, keep your diet rich in the right fish and your heart full of vitality.